For years I would talk about how I wanted to change the world, but I always left it up for someone else to do. And now I finally realize I need to take a stand, and that by changing my thinking I could change my life, and that's how I could change the world. Let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. And let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, oh, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, I am a stand for love. And let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy, I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Yes, we are making a new world now. I trust in God, I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one with the Spirit all around me. I am thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. Oh, I am thankful, so grateful. I am one with the Spirit all around me. Oh, I am thankful, so grateful, and I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one with the Spirit all around me. Oh, I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. Oh, I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one with the Spirit all around me. Oh, I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust, oh, I trust in God. Oh, yeah, so thankful. I trust in God.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity Palo Alto Spiritual Center. My name is Reverend John Riley, and I have the joy of serving as your senior minister. And it's just a wonderful experience for me to be here today and to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. Thank you for being here online. Thank you for being here in person. We are blessed by your presence. And if you're new to Unity, what we want you to know is that Unity is a global spiritual community, welcoming people from all walks of life, seeking a deeper experience of spirit, a greater expression of health, wholeness, and abundance, people looking for spiritual growth, transformation, or to do life better. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Rusty Gaylord as our platform leader, Deborah Winters as our soloist, Russell Norman on piano, and Ron E. Beck on drums. And so we'll begin our service with our opening song. I'll invite you all to stand as Deborah leads us.
I am opening.
Just page up or page down.
I am opening. I am opening to the Spirit of love. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to the Spirit of love. Let the love flow through me. 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 I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to the Spirit of love. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening to the Spirit of love. Let the love flow through me. Let the love flow through me. Let the love flow through me. Let the love. I am opening to the Spirit of love. I am opening to the Spirit of love. Day by day, day by day, oh, day by day, oh, dear Lord, three things I pray: to see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, follow thee more nearly, day by day. Yeah.
Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rusty Gaylord. I am happy to be your platform leader today. Welcome to Unity Palo Alto. We're happy to see you here in person and for those of you online. Unity in Palo Alto is part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education, teaching positive, practical, spiritual principles that you can apply every day to live a more joyful and abundant life. Unity is welcoming and inclusive, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. We have 5 core principles that we follow to guide us in this spiritual path. The first principle is God is. There is one presence and power active in the universe, and that is God, the good omnipotent. The second principle is I am. God is the substance and intelligence innate in each one of you and in all living things and all creation. Our third principle is the law of mind action, that thoughts in mind produce after their kind. We have the ability to affect our world through our thinking. The fourth principle is the practice of prayer and meditation, because it is through the practice of these principles and through prayer and meditation that we become more connected with that infinite intelligence that surrounds us. And finally, the fifth principle is the practical application. As we live according to these principles every day, we become who we were created to be. These 4 principles guide us in living our vision statement, which is on the screen, and I invite you to say it all together with me. Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all, and so it is. And now back to our call to worship song.
Through it all, my eyes are on you. And through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me. Far be it from me to not believe, even when my eyes can't see. And this mountain that's in front of me will be thrown into the midst of the sea. And through it all, my eyes are on you, and through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me. It is well with me.
And now a reading from the Daily Word. Today's daily word is comfort. I will read the affirmation and then invite you to repeat it with me. The love in my heart is my comfort. Will you affirm that with me? The love in my heart is my comfort. If the sadness of loss diminishes my joy as I think of happy experiences with the loved ones who are no longer with me, I remember that the love we shared will bind us together always. Love can never die. Love, the most beautiful attribute of God, is present always and everywhere. I am comforted as my heart opens to the divine love within me, knowing that this same love enfolds all of those I hold dear, no matter where they are on their eternal journey of life. Peace and strength grow in my awareness as I open myself to love's expression. I bless everyone who comes to mind today with a loving thought. I speak a loving word or perform a simple act of kindness wherever I can. As I bring comfort to others, I am comforted also. The scripture lesson is from Psalm 119. Let your steadfast love become my comfort, according to your promise to your servant.
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. And when I feel afraid and think I've lost my way, still you're right there beside me. Nothing will I fear as long as you are near. Please be near me to the end. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will not forget your love for me, and yet my heart forever is wandering. Oh, Spirit, be my guide and hold me to your side. I will love you till the end. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Sing along if you'd like to. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path.
Good morning. I would like us to begin our service today. Just go backwards one. Thank you. I'd like to begin our service today with a moment of silence, a moment of meditation and prayer, as we hold all of those involved in the shooting this past week in our hearts and in our prayers. The daily word today, as Rusty read it, the love in my heart is my comfort, and that love is God, God's love, divine love, that harmonizing energy that moves in, through, and as us. And so, though we are feeling the sadness and the sorrow and the rage and the frustrations and all of those things that come along with it, I invite you to, for a moment, seek in your heart that one place where there is pure spirit, where there is pure love, as we move into a time of silence for all of the children, the parents, for the community, for our society who is grieving in this present moment. And in this present moment, we hold that divine love, that healing, harmonizing energy is moving in through and as each person in this situation, comforting, guiding, directing, fulfilling them with grace and ease. And so it is. Amen. Well, my talk today is finding the path. Finding the path. And we've talked a lot about this in this past year. I guess it's almost June, so this last 6 months of 2022, moving through it as looking for the path through the next experience, through change, through the trials, through the joys, in terms of creating more experiences, greater sense of health, wholeness, and abundance. Is that for me right now, Anne? Is that for me right now? No, okay, then don't text me until after. I have to remember to silence all my devices. I have so many devices, I can't remember. And I don't know how they all work. You know, sometimes my phone doesn't ring, and I don't know why. Finding the path. So how do we find the path through all of these distractions, through all of these situations for us? You know, we've been talking about this idea of divine love, and the universe is waiting for us, right? The universe is just waiting for us to step forward, to move. But what path do we take? And one of the paths, what we've been talking about, one of the attributes within us and the strengths within us is that idea of divine wisdom and divine mind, and being able to move through life guided and directed by wisdom. And so a lot of times I think what we do is we look and say, I got to find my path. Anybody here saying, I want to, don't raise your hands. Anybody here saying, I want to find my path, I don't know what my path is right now? Sometimes I think we know what our path is. That just becomes an excuse for us to not walk our path. That idea of, well, I just don't know which way to go. And so we sit grounded, stuck, because we're not willing to take a step. But the path comes to us through our prayer and meditation. The path comes to us through our intuition, through our connection with Spirit. Because there are two types of paths that we can take. There's our ego path, and then there's our spiritual path. And the reality is they're all one. We think they're separate, but our ego path is just another part of our spiritual path. And so what we want to really focus on in terms of moving forward on that journey, on that path, is the idea, the attributes of understanding, the attribute of will. Now in Unity we have what we've defined as 12 powers, the 12 attributes of our consciousness. And that make up the spiritual I am of you, that divine essence within you. And those powers, are you ready? Let me see if I can actually get them out. Life, imagination, power, strength, judgment, understanding. Dang it. Zeal. Thank you. That was the one I was missing. Faith, love, order, and will. Now, all of those are powers within us. All of those are abilities within us and things that make up that I am consciousness. And when we have them all clicking and running at the same level, intentionally at a spiritual level, then we are walking the path that we are intended to walk. And it's a path of joy, and it's a path of abundance, and it's a path of serving and creating a world that works for all, as we talk about at the beginning of the service. So what I want to talk about today is those two aspects, understanding and will, because it takes understanding to know, to learn these spiritual tools to get us into that place of knowing, so that there is some education and study and effort needs to be put into that understanding component. But intellectual understanding is not enough. The intellectual understanding of, I understand these spiritual principles that we're talking about, but until you put them into action, they don't mean anything to you. You're not embodying them. And that's the goal, is to embody those spiritual principles. And that's where will comes into play. Now, there's two forms of will. There's personal will, that comes from personality, and there's spiritual will. So personal will comes from that idea of, the persona that's within us. You might call it your ego. And it's not necessarily good or bad. It's just self-centered, right? It's centered on me. Where spiritual will is centered on the whole and our union with God, our oneness with the allness of life, love, and wisdom. Personal will, it comes from that idea of persona. And I looked this up this morning. The root word of persona from Latin means a mask. That comes from the theater. When we put on different masks, we put on different personas. Well, how true is that? I mean, how many personas do we actually have? Right, we come into church, well, I've got my church persona on. Let me hover as I move into the world. We have our driving in traffic persona. Anybody have one of those personas? It's different. It can be. And you know what? These personas come up when we get triggered, right? Our shadow comes up, our shadow button gets pushed, and all of a sudden, boom, there's a different persona. And they come and go so quickly. They can come in a moment. I've heard one could be angry, frustrated, and then in the next moment, take a breath and I'll put on the other persona, because I'm letting go of the fear and the shame and the guilt. So the more we take off those masks of who we're pretending to be when we're at work, those masks of who we're pretending to be when we're at the water cooler or out with our friends or, with our families. Oh, there's another persona. We all have those personas, right? That family system comes into play. All of those personas that we put on trying to make it through. And like I said, I'm not saying it's good or bad, because sometimes those personas create or inspire individuals to create things that are wonderful. But the persona that, if we just took off the mask and lived more from your spiritual I am, the persona wouldn't matter as much. And we wouldn't be guided by self-centeredness. We'd be guided by God-centeredness. We'd be guided by oneness-centeredness. By the sense of being together in this vast universe as one spiritual experience. As Rusty talked about earlier, that first principle, God is in us. I like to say God is in us like the ocean is in the wave. There's no separation. It's the allness of life that we're in. And so the will is our willingness to step forward into our lives, projecting that spiritual I am nature in every situation. Now, what happens is we get afraid to do that. When I get out with my friends, and, it's like, well, I'm not going to be Mr. Spiritual here. It's not that kind of relationship. And, oh, here he goes again. So, can we be in those situations without the persona and have the will to move through life from that spiritual I am? Now, how many of you have a goal, have a target, have something you want to accomplish, or you want to purchase, or you want to become? Maybe it's a relationship goal. There's all kinds of goals that we have out there and things that we're striving for. And how many of you, don't raise your hands, how many of you are actually taking steps towards that goal? I said don't raise your hand, but you get a star anyway. Just showing up, everybody. But if we don't take any steps, then we're not going to move down that path. I've got a great goal. I've got, my mom's 92. I want to write a book with her. I've got 20 years left. She's not going anywhere. Then how often am I taking steps down that path? Or am I thinking, oh, I got to find the right, type font? Or whatever the excuse is. We make all these excuses because our will is not weak. And that's the problem. We think we don't have any self-will. We don't have, the strength to do it. We get mad at ourselves or down on ourselves. But the will is just following that persona of fear. That persona of, I'm not good enough. So shift out of that persona, take off that mask, and shift back into your I am spiritual, I am consciousness, where all things are possible. There's a great story in the Bible that I'd like to relay, and I actually have it written down. It's in, I think it's Mark. Mark 4, chapter 4, verse 37 to 41, where Jesus and his disciples are in a boat, and it's in the stormy boat. It's in the stormy seas. The waves are rocking, the wind is blowing, and the I am consciousness is right up in the bow sleeping. Now let's just pause there for a moment. Jesus, the representation of that I am consciousness, that Christ consciousness, is asleep. So how many of us, during our storms, that I am consciousness is asleep? What a great metaphor for what we are experiencing in life. That I am consciousness falls asleep. Then all of the disciples wake him up and say, do thou not care for us? You're just sitting there sleeping. And Jesus, stands up and he speaks to the sea and he speaks to the wind. He rebukes the sea and he speaks to the wind and says, peace, be still. And the sea and the wind are calmed. Just like that. Jesus was the master of the situation because he was a master of his own thoughts. Because he agreed with God always. He wasn't disagreeing with God when the storms were raging, when the wind was blowing. He was hunkered down and just napping it out. And that's the wonderful story about this. And he kept himself in tune in a state of spiritual unity with God. And this was accomplished through discipline, through spiritual will, through the practice of meditation and prayer, which he did continuously, by retuning and refining himself and getting him back in tune with that one presence and one power, getting him back in tune with the allness of life, love, and wisdom, with that energy of divine love, with that energy and power of faith, with the wisdom and understanding and the spiritual will to put it into action in life. Now, it's a wonderful metaphor for us because this is our innate ability to move through whatever storms you're going through with ease and grace as we return to that indwelling spirit, to that indwelling place within us that is untouched, that is peaceful, where infinite joy exists, by returning to that place. Now you'll notice Jesus didn't say, no, don't worry, boys. It's okay. I know it's a little rough here, but we'll get through it. He didn't identify with the situation as being good or bad at all. He just said, peace, be still. In your storms, in your situation, as you're going down your path, how much of it is, oh my gosh, Becky, look at what's happening to me now. Look at what's going on to me. Look at what's happening here. And just identifying with the problem, identifying with the situation, rather than just saying, peace, be still. He never identified with the good or the bad of it. He never disagreed. He just said, now everyone, let's get centered again. Let's have that spiritual union with God. Allow that I am consciousness to come forward and to be present. Eric Butterworth, in his book, Discover the Power Within You, said, the greatest mistake is believing that we're only human. Now, sometimes we say that, right? Well, I'm human. There's my comfort zone. Of course I make mistakes because I'm human. But there's our scapegoat, right? We're identifying, we're affirming, this is, I'm going to make mistakes. And the truth is you are. We all are. Why? Because we're human. Yeah, okay. So as we're going through that, though, we don't have to identify with the condition, with the situation, and call it good or bad. We can return always to that inner-centered place in consciousness. So, the greatest mistake is believing that we're only human. We are human in expression, but divine in creation and limitless in potentiality. Limitless in potentiality. There's a saying, and it comes from Genesis chapter 50. I just had it, verse 20, I think. Yep. And as for you, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. Have you heard that saying before? Whatever's happening out there, yes, you may have meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. And the message there is there's always something that I can learn and grow from that experience. And I believe that it needs updating. Because I don't think God meant it to be. The evil that we see in the world, the anger and destruction and frustration and outbursts that we see in the world are not meant by God. That's created by our humanness. That's created by our separation from that one presence and power. That's created by forgetting that I am consciousness within us and allowing that shadow persona to take over. So it happens. It happens. I think the way the phrase could be updated is God's will out. That will to express divine love will overcome. That will to express infinite wisdom will overcome. That God wills out. And that when we're in alignment with that, and even if we aren't conscious about it, we get these intuitions or these sparks within us that say, here's something good that has occurred as a result. And then we can say God meant it for good, but it's just God expressing good. God expressing love. The universe, the universal consciousness expressing that divine harmony. That's always present. That's what wills out, even in the face of tragedy. And so when we tie into that essence, when we consciously make a decision, and here's where the trick is, making an intention, setting an intention to say, I'm going to consciously live in that I am experience. I'm going to consciously express that I am consciousness in every situation that I can. And with that spiritual will, we're able to walk the path, to experience more joy, more creativity, more abundance in our relationships, in our career, in our finances, in our health, whatever you want to call it. But it's that spiritual will that takes off the persona of fear and frustration and anger and gossip and everything else that's not it. Taking off those masks and allowing our true self to move forward. As I was working on this talk this week and thinking about it, I asked the question, okay, what's next? And I immediately saw this little book on my desk. It's Metaphysical Meditations by Paramahansa Yogananda. It's, I think, one of my mom's books that came in, she bought it in 1969 for 60 cents. And I said, okay, what does the yogi have to say? And sure enough, there's a whole section about developing will, spiritual will, a conscious effort to move forward. So I'd like to read some of this, and if it resonates with you, invite you to take it with you. Today, I make up my mind to succeed in whatever I do. Willpower is a tremendous factor in all activities. It can start endless motions of cosmic energy. O eternal energy, awaken in me conscious will, conscious vitality, conscious health, conscious realization. Teach me, O Spirit, to cooperate with thy will until all my thoughts shall conform to thy harmonious planes. There is hidden strength within me to overcome all obstacles and temptations. I will bring forth that indomitable power and energy. Invincible Lord, teach me to use my will unceasingly in the performance of good actions until the little light of my will burns as the cosmic blaze of thine all-powerful will. So, the intention, knowing that you have within you everything that you need to move through with calm, with peace, any storm that you're in. The intention to use and draw forward that inner peace so that you can become the peace in the world. The intention to allow that loving presence, that spiritual energy to flow effortlessly through you, through your spiritual will. Let's move to our affirmation. The affirmation is on the screen, and I'm going to affirm it once and then allow you to just soak it in and embody it, if you will, and then we can affirm it together. I turn to spirit within, and let the path be revealed. With wisdom and will, I walk the path securely. Breathing into that, let us affirm this together. I turn to spirit within, and let the path be revealed. With wisdom and will, I walk the path securely. You said that a little tentatively. I'm going to invite you to use your zeal in our affirmation. Together, I turn to spirit within, and let the path be revealed. With wisdom and will, I walk the path securely. And so it is. Let's take that into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable and is safe for you in this present moment. Or simply soften your gaze as we turn from the outer senses, the outer experience, to an inner experience. With each breath, we relax a little bit more, allowing our body to relax, our mind and our thoughts to relax. If you're feeling any stress or strain, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, feel the earth beneath you. Feel gravity. Feel all of the stress and strain drain from you now as we ground ourselves. With a nice, deep, cleansing breath, we allow our thoughts to settle. We allow our emotions to just settle. No effort, no concern as thoughts or emotions pop up. We just simply allow them to drift by with ease and grace, like clouds in the sky. As we seek and create that sense of stillness, that quiet place within our hearts. And as we do, we know God is. In the stillness, of the silence. As we breathe into the stillness, we experience that infinite flow of life, harmonizing energy of love, infinite intelligence guiding, open to divine inspiration, to divine mind, one with this infinite source. We affirm with understanding and will, I step forward on my spiritual path. I call forth that spiritual I am within me. And my personality is along for the ride. I allow that joy to fill my heart, knowing that I am one with the infinite, knowing that my path is secure. And with a mighty faith, an unwavering faith, I walk, doing what is mine to do today, sharing the love, that infinite harmony that flows in, through, and as me, sharing that with the world, blessing each person that comes before me, knowing that divine wisdom is welling up within them. We surround all of those who we are holding in prayer with that love, with that wisdom, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for their truth. We surround all of the prayers in our prayer chest that have come in online, and we hold them in our hearts, knowing that divine love is doing its perfect work. And we surround our world, national, state, and local leaders with this prayer, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for peace on earth, goodwill, equality, and justice for all people. And for this time together, for this special spiritual connection that we have with one another, for this joy that we create as a spiritual community, we celebrate and give thanks by singing the Alleluia.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
And with a nice, deep cleansing breath, let us return our attention to this time and this space, and to gently open our eyes if you haven't already done so. And just allow that loving energy to fill you up today and take it with you throughout this day. Unity Palo Alto is here to help you discover that spiritual magnificence and to help you live from that magnificence every day. There are so many ways in which you can support our spiritual community. We are a self-sustaining spiritual community, and we are here because of your love offerings. But however you decide to give and support us, give it with your love. Extend your love with whatever you're giving to the world, because when you give with love, you receive love. The affirmation that we say is on the screen, and I invite you to affirm it with me together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
Where is a place that I know, where I can see shelter from a hunger and cold, and the sweet taste in good life is so easily found way over yonder. That's where I'm bound. I know when I get there, the first thing I'll see, oh, is the sun shining golden, yeah, shining right down on me. Well, then trouble's gonna lose me. Worry, leave me behind, and I'll stand up proudly in a true peace of mind. Where you lead, I will follow. Anywhere that you tell me to, oh, I need you to be with me. I will follow where you lead. Sing along if you know it. If you lead, yes, I will follow. Anywhere that you tell me to, oh, I need to be with you. I will follow where you lead. One more time. Where you lead, I will follow. Anywhere that you tell me to, oh, I need to be with you. I will follow where you lead. Yes, I will follow where you lead. Oh, where you lead, I will follow. Anywhere that you tell me to. If you need me to be with you. Don't you know I need to be with you? Yes. Oh, and I will follow where you lead. Where you lead.
Thank you, thank you. That's wonderful. Unity is a welcoming and vibrant place. There is always a lot going on here, so we have a few announcements to share with you today. Number one is for all of the many things that we missed during COVID, one of the things that we did miss is the opportunity to say thank you to two of the people who are longtime employees here, Michael Clemens and Brini Brender. Their positions were eliminated earlier last year, and now there's an opportunity to say thank you to them. So there's a group of congregants that is hosting a get-together. It's a drop-in event on June 5th at Mitchell Park between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. You can come at any time and stay as long as you like. There will be a light lunch buffet. Everybody is welcome. When you go to Mitchell Park, it's a big place. Look for the red balloon. Also, in 2 weeks, there is going to be a dedication and a reception of the Karen Bradley Learning Center. That's going to be after service on June 12th. So many of you know that Reverend Karen Bradley served as the senior minister here at Unity from 2005 to 2016. She will be back with Reverend John Riley on June 12th at the service. And then following that, we are going to be dedicating what used to be called the front office and renaming it to the Karen Bradley Learning Center in honor of her and her love and her service here at Unity. So please join us for that, June 12th. The week after that, on June 19th, there is going to be a workshop called Healing the Pain of the Pandemic, and that is with Reverend Sheila Goutreau, and that's going to be here after the service. This is a spiritual process to move through the emotional trauma that many have experienced during the last several years and go to a place of hope and experiencing the presence of God. You'll be an opportunity to experience your pain and express that in a safe and loving place, to cross the threshold into healing, and engage your spiritual power tools that provide ongoing support for creating and maintaining a new paradigm of peace. So Reverend Sheila will also be the guest speaker on Sunday, June 19th. So come on June 19th. You can hear her speak in the service and join the workshop afterwards. Okay, the workshop's at 1 o'clock, not at 12:30. These are some of the opportunities going on here at Unity. You can find out more about these and other things going on our website, unitypaloalto.org, as well as our social media channels, so please join us and check it out. We wanted to just offer a simple welcome to all of you who are here. For those of you who are here, we'll save our greeting until after the service out in the courtyard. And for those of you online, you're welcome to pop over to the chat and say hello. If there's anybody who's new, or if this is your coming back after a long absence or your first time here, we'd invite you to raise your hand so we can give you a warm welcome. Thank you. Welcome to you. Excellent. Welcome, welcome. For those of you here, there is a welcome card in the pew. You're welcome to fill that out and drop that in the silver box at the back. And if you're online, there is a welcome card online virtually as well at unitypaloalto.org/live. So welcome. As it is the 5th Sunday of the month, we have the opportunity to bless each other today. And so there should be a blessing appearing on the screen magically behind me. And I invite you all to just hold your hands out, and we will all say this as we bless each other together. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ consciousness expressing as you. And so it is. And now we will wrap up with our closing song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now, where there
Deborah. Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Rusty. Thank you all. So I just want to first say we are, it's Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you all. I wanted to take a moment to honor those who have gone before us, who have served in the military and died in the military. The daily word for tomorrow, for Memorial Day, is memorial. And the affirmation, I remember and give thanks today. With reverence, I honor those who have come before me. I may lay flowers on a grave site or participate in a sacred ceremony. No matter how I remember, the love and respect I hold in my heart kept these dear ones alive forever in my mind and heart. With this thought, I bless them for their unique contributions, courage, and selflessness. And with that, let us turn within as we hold this idea in our hearts and give thanks in this present moment. I remember and I give thanks today, and so it is. And now we move to our prayer for protection. I invite you all to say with me together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week.
Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. Oh, I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. Oh, I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Yes, we are making a new world now. Oh, yeah.